Hey everybody, welcome back to You Seem Normal. I am at the point where I want to do like videos and or blog posts every single week, but every single week comes around and I tell myself I don't have anything to say, even if I've literally done all the research for a video or taken all the notes that I would need and have everything I need to do the thing that I think that I wish to do. So we're starting a new thing where even if I think I have nothing to say, I'm going to come on, sit in front of a camera, ramble, or not. Perhaps I'm just sitting in front of the camera, and that'll be the video. And so we'll see how long I can keep this up. If you know me, not even if you know me, if you followed me online, it's always been like this. I am a really big fan of starting things. Love starting things. Super fun for me. Very much an ideas person, and I'm very good at ideating, if you will. I'm not as good as doing the work week to week, consistently, over and over again. And I honestly haven't found what works for me either, to be able to do something consistently. Just including in my work too. I've been working at a job for over a year now. There are just things that I just don't know how to work with myself yet. Honestly, like my brain, like say I do some stuff and I have a really productive morning. Then the afternoon comes around and I say, well, I've already done stuff, so like I don't know how to get back on doing things. Just like stuff, like random things like that throughout the day. So definitely spills over into You Seem Normal in a lot of ways. Some days you'll see me posting like 2 weeks in a row, or in the beginning of the year, like maybe that was like 4 weeks in a row. But at the same time, each year this happens. Like this happened last year at this time. Right around, started in the new year, things go fine for the first couple of months. And then you hit the spring and you're just like, man, forget this. Never mind. Like, and I'm really, really good at making these excuses. Like, I'm really good at that. Like, if you need someone to come up with excuses for you, I'm your gal. Yeah, I don't know. Even like, I have like a double chin. And I don't really know why, because I'm a thin individual, and it makes me like not want to post some things that I've like created, which is really stupid. Just laying it all out today, I guess. What I did want to talk, I don't even know if I really want to talk about this, but I kind of do, is revenge bedtime procrastination, which is like staying up way too late for literally no reason other than to reclaim time from your day. So yeah, it's totally a thing. I didn't know it was a thing until I saw this TikTok about it, and then apparently the term was sort of popularized over on like Chinese Twitter, and then it was brought over to like more English-speaking Twitter by, I have her name, Daphne K. Lee, who's a writer. There are some articles about that, but this has been officially coined a term since 2014, which it's been around longer, because like the 70s children, just like picturing them as children in their beds with a flashlight on, like reading like a comic. I don't know why I have such a vivid picture of that, but I know that could be revenge bedtime procrastination, but also maybe it's not, because maybe they're not trying to sabotage the next day. They're genuinely just really interested in whatever they're doing. But revenge bedtime procrastination is not that. Like maybe I'm knitting and I do want to knit my sweater or whatever. Really though, like that's not why I'm staying up. I'm just trying to like avoid the next day coming, and avoid going to bed. I've had this as a thing for me for a while. Like I remember several therapists ago talking about not being able to go to bed and not wanting it to be the next day, which that's definitely a depression. But I'm actually just talking about revenge bedtime procrastination, but you know how everything's connected. But anyway, I could take you through the history in the past few years of it and other forms that it looked like, but I really just want to talk about like resistance to it, or if there are any solutions, and sometimes there are not. So I said truly don't need to do anything with this information. If you don't want to, you don't feel like you can. So like, oh, you do this too? Cool, like I do this too, you seem normal. That could be it. Like you don't try to change anything. It just is what it is. It's just validating to know that that other people are having the same experience as you are. So just, there's that. It's good to be aware of it. And I'm also not saying that it's bad, because there's actually this really kind of interesting Vice article, which I'll link. Is it Vice? Yes. And she actually, like, that's the time that she finds at night to do things that make her feel alive. And maybe that is the only time that she has. So it's not necessarily a bad thing, so you could also think about it like that. And I also want you to recognize, like, the culture that we're in. So for one thing, pandemic, there may be boundaries that have been blurred lines, if you will, between, like, leisure and work. But also the culture we live in is, like, being on all the time for your professional job, for example. And you just want this time where you're not on. You know everyone else is gone to bed or is not around anymore, can't possibly bug you or need anything. And you want to prolong that time as much as possible. So that's a culture that we live in. Also, you know that it's bad. Like, I know what I'm doing when I'm doing it, and I know that it's bad, but I can't stop doing it. And maybe you also feel like you're wasting time sleeping, like getting 10 hours of sleep when you really need like 8 maybe. So you're like, well, I better just stay up another 2 hours since I don't need that much sleep, or I've functioned on that little sleep before. But really, rest is one of the most productive things that you can possibly do. And maybe your revenge bedtime procrastination is partly rest, and in a way, like it's partly a rest for part of your mind, and the part that you don't feel you have to be stressed at that time. Yeah, so maybe it's more about, if you do care about this, shortening the time if you can and all. I don't know, but then again, who really cares? And I've gotten to the point at night where it's happening and you just can't stop it. It's like a train. So, but one solution I thought for those of you who may be interested in doing less of this is planning time to actually do those things in the day and then doing them at those times, because then it's like, I've done this, check. I don't know. But then again, I also don't know. But just like experiment, I suppose. I know. But also, this is a sign that you're trying to regain some control over your time and time in your life. So what are some other ways you can do this throughout your day? That's kind of the idea. There are things you can do on your phone. So like, oh, that looked so weird. It's because I record my audio on here. I thought, yeah. You can use the bedtime feature. It's really cool. It like will put your phone on do not disturb and like make it dark and stuff at a certain time, and then it automatically sets your alarm for the next day. So yeah, you can certainly do that. And then I don't even want to cover this one. Forget this. And I don't even know what this even meant, but I wrote down not for everyone, because some of you read enticing books. But I fall asleep within like 20 minutes of reading, no matter what time of day, which is so true. I could wake up on a Saturday or Sunday and just like have my coffee and start reading, and like as soon as the coffee's done, I'm not actively doing anything like that. I'm like, I have to go back to bed. Like, I can't stay awake any longer. Really, what I should do is just change activities, but like that's the thing. That's what I'm doing. I don't want to change activity. I want to read, but then it puts me to sleep, and then so I listen to that. Because rest is one of the most important things that you can do for your mental and even your physical health. So I think I've done my due diligence this week with coming on here. So yeah, thanks so much. Like I said, what I'm trying to do is like disrupt my excuses for myself by saying that I'm going to come on even if I have nothing to say at all, and I've disclosed that to you. So now I literally don't have a single excuse. That's that on that.